Alright, so this is the last video. So this one is on simplifying radicals. This is something we didn't really discuss in class, but it is fairly simple. Hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, I just chose 6 random problems. Let's see if we can solve this together. Okay, so let's say we want to find this. Okay, so if we encounter a situation like this, usually what you want to do is you want to break down the big square root. So this is going to be equal to the square root of 72 divided by the square root of 6. Okay, so some of this, playing around with this, you'll have to go way back into quarter 1. Okay, if you want to find the square root of 72, the square root of 72, you can break this down. 72 breaks down into 8 and 9. This breaks down into 3 and 3. This breaks down into 4 and 2. This breaks down into 2 and 2. Okay, so what I see is this is a pair and this is a pair. So if I really had to find the square root of 72, this is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. So circle the pair, 1 gets shot, 1 goes out. Circle the pair, 1 gets shot, 1 comes out. If you do this, this is 2 times 3 times square root of 2. So that means the square root of 72 is going to be 6 square root 2 divided by square root of 6. Okay, so the next part here, I'm going to erase all the little work here. What you want to do is you want to make sure there are no radicals in the denominator. Since there are no radicals in the denominator, multiply this by square root 6 divided by the square root of 6 to make sure that the problem stays in balance. Okay, so here what I see, if I multiply this out, this is square root 2 times square root of 6 is going to be 6 times the square root of 12. If I do 6 times square root of 6 times the square root of 6, what I'm going to get on the bottom, if you really think about this, it's just going to be 6. Okay, so basically when you multiply two things together, if you wanted to, this right here, square root of 6 times square root of 6 is square root of 36. If you put the square root of 36 in your calculator, it's going to be 6. Okay, so next part, what you would do from here, you want to cancel out the 6's. Cancel out the 6's. This is square root of 12. Then you have to think about what goes into 12. So we have 12 goes into 4 and 3. It also goes into 2 and 2. So make the little square root. 2 times 2 times 3. Circle the pair, kill 1, 1 comes out, 2 square root 3. This is 2 square root 3. Okay. The next one. Okay. Square root of 32 divided by square root of 3. Okay. So what I see here is you can do the same thing. You want to see what goes to 32? Well, I see that 2, 16, this is 4, and this is going to be 4. You could actually stop here if you wanted to. So this is going to be square root of 2 times 4 times 4. This is a pair. 1 comes out. This is 4 square root 2. So that means the top is going to be 4 square root 2 over square root 3. Now you want to make sure that there are no square roots in the denominator. Okay, make sure there's no square roots in the denominator. So this is going to be multiplied by square root 3 over square root 3. This becomes the 4 times square root of 2 times square root of 3 is the square root of 6. If you multiply these together, this is just going to be 3 on the bottom. Okay, because square root of 3 times square root of 3 is going to be square root of 9. Square root of 9 is 3. This one. Okay, 3 over 2 square root 5. You can just multiply this by square root 5 divided by square root of 5. Okay. Here, 3 multiplied by square root 5 is 3 square root 5. Here on the bottom, this is going to be 2 multiplied by 5. Because square root of 5 times square root of 5 is square root of 25. So if this is square root of 25, square root of 25 is this 5 here. Okay? So here, simplify this. You want to simplify the denominator. 3 square root 5 divided by 10. Done. Okay, next one. 5 divided by square root 20. Okay, so in my mind, 20 can be broken up into 4 and 5. This can be broken up into 2, 2. 2 times 2 times 5. Here, this is the pair. Kill 1, take 1 out. 2 square root 5. Okay, so this is equal to 5 divided by 2 square root 5. Okay. Our next step, what we have to do is get rid of the square root in the denominator. Okay. If you want to get rid of the square root in the denominator, multiply it by square root 5 to make it balanced. The top part will become 5 times square root of 5. This part, so you multiply these together. If this would be square root 25. So this is just like the other one actually. So this becomes 5. So that means the bottom is going to be 2 times 5. So this is 5 square root 5 divided by 2 times 5, which is 10. Now what I see here is they share a common factor of 5 in the numerator and denominator. So you can reduce this. This is the square root of 5 divided by 2. Divide by 5 in the numerator and denominator. Square root of 5 divided by 2. Okay. Right. This one. 3 square root 20 divided by 2 square root 4. If you know what the square root of 4 is, go ahead and simplify that. This is 3 square root 20 divided by 2 times 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Because 4 breaks up into 2 and 2. If you had to do that, 2 times 2, 1 gets shot, 1 comes out. Nothing in the square root, it's just 2. Okay. So here, this is 3 square root 20 divided by 4. Square root 20 is not simplified. Okay, so we have to simplify the square root 20. What goes into 20? 4, 5, 2, 2. Square root of 2 times 5. Circle the pair, 1 gets shot, 1 comes out, 2 square root 5. Okay. So what we have here, this comes out to 3 multiplied by 2 square root 5 divided by 4. Then we want to multiply these together. 3 times 2 is going to be 6. 6 square root 5 divided by 4. Here, the numerator and denominator share a common factor of 2. Since they share a common factor of 2, that means the numerator can be 3 square root 5 divided by 2. Okay. Next one. Okay. 3 over square root 2. Okay. So this one, what I see, multiply the numerator and denominator by square root 2. So here, this would be square root of 4. Square root of 4 is 2. So the numerator becomes 3 square root 2 divided by 2. And that's all she wrote. Okay. This one's a little different. Okay. This one, you just multiply it by square root 3 divided by square root 3. Okay. Here, if you do it, square root 2 times square root 3 is square root 9. Square root of 9 is 3. This is 6 square root 3 divided by 3. Then from here, I noticed that you can do 6 divided by 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. That means when simplified, this is 2 square root 3. And that is it. I hope these are enough examples to help you out. I know it looks like a mess, but this is how you would go about doing it. Okay? Thanks, bye.